Yeah, you can't find 700 teachers that easily.
When I never felt bad, come on, yeah.
So last week, an article was published in the local media about the fact that we are still missing 700 teachers. And last year, the numbers were more around like 400, and the government had the gall to say, no, we can't compare both numbers. They weren't taken at the same time. For the record, it was a week apart. And of course, what does the minister say? Well, we will find 700 teachers. Really? Where? Where are you going to find 700 teachers that you weren't able to find back in June? Is there like a secret grad class at some kind of like underground university that I'm not aware of? Hi, I'm Madame la Prof, and for those of you who are new to my channel, I have strong opinions when it comes to the state of education in the world today. So click the subscribe button, click the like button, share with all your other teacher friends, because I got something to say. First of all, it's not unheard of that there are teachers missing and school boards and schools are scrambling to find teachers to fill some yet to be claimed posts. It's normal. Heck, that's how I got my first foot in the door. And often teachers get sick, something unexpected happens, and of course, as it has been happening over the past 5 to 10 years, more and more teachers are abandoning the profession. So my question du jour is, where are you going to find those 700 teachers? Because the minister pretty much said that no classroom is going to be left alone, abandoned, or how he said in French, orphelines, des classes orphelines. Now, if his idea of ensuring that all posts and all empty classrooms devoid of teacher will be filled by an adult human body, I'm sorry, that's not a teacher. And I find that thought of plugging a hole with just some random person is a bit insulting to all of the teachers who have spent years honing their craft, and in some cases doing a bachelor's and a master's degree in order to teach. I'm sorry, I take offense at that. You can't just like plug in a person and assume that person is going to be able to teach the class. But what I find more aggravating, and I will link the article below in the comments in the video description, is that the minister's planning on taking people who finished a bachelor's degree or a master's degree and then convert them or retrain them to become teachers. I'm sorry, you cannot necessarily have the same skills to teach if you have like a bachelor's degree in history. It's not the same thing. Yes, I recognize that some people discover potentially a passion to teach while they're in university, but quite often these people have their perception of the classroom when they went to high school or when they went to elementary school. Times have changed. Their perception of a classroom is no longer the same. And we see that problem in certain fields where the teacher has this preconceived notion of how students are going to behave and react and how they should be working and their habits and whatnot, and it's not at all what they expected. So no, you can't just take somebody who has a random bachelor's degree and expect them to teach. In fact, what you do need to be a teacher I don't want to say a good teacher, but to teach, because being a good teacher is very subjective. My perception of what I considered a good teacher might differ from someone else, but you need what I call the 3 P's. And no, it's not 3 doses of pina coladas. It's passion, patience, and perseverance. Let's start with patience. You need to be patient to do this job. You need to accept the fact that you are going to be repeating the same thing. 5 times is, on the lower scale. You need to be patient because kids these days need a lot of repetition. They need a lot of reminders. Yes, they are going to need hand holding. And if you are not patient enough to do hand holding, you can't be here. You need to be patient because also you can't expect results instantaneously. The students are going to hit a wall. They're going to face obstacles, and you need to be there for them. But you also need to be patient for yourself, because if your expectations are too high and you yourself hit an obstacle in your craft, in your teaching, you're not going to succeed. You're not going to be in it for the long run if you can't have that patience. The second P is perseverance, and it's linked with patience, because you are going to stumble. Your students are going to stumble, and you have to be able to learn from those failures, those pitfalls, those obstacles. You need to learn. I also call it resilience. You need to be resilient. You need to pick yourself up, even if there is no one around to help you pick yourself up or to pick your students up. And you need to continue. As a grade 11 teacher, my students have an end goal, and it's to survive the grade 11 French exam. And yes, it doesn't mean that I'm teaching to the exam, but that's my end goal. And for some students, that end goal seems like 5 years down the line when it's actually only a few months. So they have to understand that they need to hang in there, and they need to make sure that they don't let go, that they don't give up some point in December. In some cases, some of these kids give up in October, and we see this type of behavior happening earlier, in grade 8, even in elementary schools, where kids just give up. So you need to have that mindset of persevering, and even yourself as a teacher. You can't seem to get through to your students. You'll need to find your own way to reaching out to them, and then once you got them, once they're hooked, and you reel them in, you've got them for the rest of the year, and maybe even if you're at the same school the following year, for the rest of your time at that school, and their high school experience or their elementary school experience, and they will know that that's the teacher who did not let me go and who did not give up on me, and that's super important. And the last thing, and it's linked to the other two, is passion. You can't go into teaching because there's nothing else to do. You can't. It's not about that. It's about being able to connect with the students that are in front of you. It's being able to come up with clever ways to make learning meaningful and fun. It's seeing their reaction when they finally understand something, or when they get a test back and they see the improvement and they understand, and you know that at that point in time there is real learning. Not because they got a 98 on 100, no, because they got 68 instead of 47. That's when you're almost as proud as they are for hitting that milestone, and that's where I don't want to say you can see the real teachers from the fake ones. But if you have an appreciation for that, you really truly become a teacher, not because it's the only thing that you can do, but it's because what you believe you can do, and that you cannot find in everyone. Some people, everybody's got their own skill set. Everybody's got their own talents and their own abilities, and I applaud every person's uniqueness. But you cannot just foist someone in a classroom expecting they'll understand. They won't, unless they have those 3 P's: patience, perseverance, and passion. If you don't have those 3 P's, I don't think you are meant to be in teaching. Maybe you'll find the right place for you that's meaningful to you. But I'm sorry, if the government expects to find 700 teachers, real teachers, not just bodies, I think I would like to have some of that Kool-Aid that they're drinking, because like they're dreaming in like some kind of Technicolor tapestry. It's special. It's special. On that lovely note, folks, have yourselves a lovely day.